Moving on, the case against former Sports, Arts and Culture Minister Zizi Kodwa has been postponed to the 21st of August for the state to furnish more details to the defense. Kodwa is accused of receiving bribes of over 1.6 million rand from his co-accused former EOH director Johan McKay nearly a decade ago. The pair are out on 30,000 rand bail each. SABC News reporter Calvin Dludla has more.
We are here at the Pamreche Magistrate Court where we were attending the case of the former Arts and Culture Minister Zizi Kodwa. He is facing a corruption charge. I'm not alone. I'm with the National Prosecuting Authorities spokesperson, Gauteng Division, Pinky Vythilingam. Thank you very much for your time. We saw you in court and we saw what transpired in court. Do you feel that you have a strong case against the former minister?
Well, our duty as the state is to present all relevant evidence before court. The court will come to a conclusion regarding the strength of the state case. So only the court can make that determination after it has evaluated all the evidence before it.
The case has been postponed to the 21st of August 2024, which is next month. Why is the postponement?
It's postponed to the 21st of August. That was indulgence provided by the court for the state to respond to the interlocutory application brought by accused number 2, Mr. Kodwa, for further particulars. This is after we have disclosed the contents of the docket to both accused. So Mr. Kodwa then further brought an application for further particulars. So the court has provided us with the indulgence to consider his application and thereafter respond to it.
Maybe this question would be unfair to you. Is NPA ready for this case?
We have been ready to proceed with the trial. That is why, as soon as the matter was enrolled, we're in a position to disclose the contents of the docket. So the accused are within their rights to exercise all the recourse mechanisms. You'd also recall that the lawyer for accused number 1 indicated in court that they will also use the time provided by the court to decide whether or not they will be bringing representations. So we are hoping as the NPA that we will be in a position to deal with all those interlocutory applications before the trial stage. But as the NPA, we are ready to proceed with trial. You
can say that we won't see postponements after postponement.
Well, we cannot guarantee that there won't be any further postponements. As I've said, that the accused enjoy the rights to bring these applications. So once they've decided that they'll be bringing representations to the NPA, obviously there will be further postponements for the NPA to consider such representations. And also remember that they have a right to bring such representations up until the National Office of the NPA, which is quite a lengthy process. So as the NPA, we are ready to deal with such applications as in when they are brought to us. But of importance is that all these interlocutory applications must be finalized before we can move to the trial stage.
Vodacom forensic liaison supervisor Pinky Vythilingam is back on the stand in the Senzo Meyiwa murder trial. 5 men are on trial at the High Court in Pretoria for the 2014 murder of the Bafana captain. One of the confession statements by accused number 2, Bongani Ndanzi, alleges that Kelly Khumalo was in communication with accused number 3, Mthobisi Mncube, on the day of the murder, with Khumalo allegedly asking how far they were. Defense counsel Sipho Ramasipele asked Vythilingam if the communication is reflected on cell phone activity from October 26, 2014. Counsel on behalf of Judge Tintswalo Makhubele has argued that evidence leaders in a judicial court tribunal should be impartial. The body is investigating allegations of misconduct against Makhubele following a complaint filed by civil society organization #UniteBehind. It alleges that Makhubele violated the separation of powers principle by being both a judge and a chairperson of a state-owned company and allegedly advanced corruption and state capture, an allegation Makhubele denies. During counsel's submissions on the fairness of the process, Advocate Thabane Masuku, on behalf of Judge Makhubele, addressed the role of evidence leaders.
you will not find a single piece of evidence that they raised which was in favor of her. In fact, what I was listening to Advocate Pava yesterday make the submission that, which was also backed up by the Mr. Bishop for the complainants, which was that you've got to find that Justice Makhubele lied because she didn't put a version to Judge President Mlambo, senior head of arguments. I mean, in fairness, when you are an evidence leader and a version has not been put to a witness, what is your responsibility there? What is your responsibility? If there was a version that had not been put, and that version was necessary for the tribunal to reach a fair and a balanced conclusion of this matter, what was the evidence leaders, what was the role of the evidence leaders in those circumstances? Because this is an inquisitorial process, the rules of engagement are really more relaxed than an adversarial system. So to try and draw from an adversarial system or principles from an adversarial system and to try and impugn the integrity of a judge simply because he did not place, she did not ask a colleague a certain version when they are evidence leaders, just misconceives the role that the process is all about.
VBS Mutual Bank's Minority Shareholders Forum has called for the bank to be resuscitated. Thousands of depositors, investors and municipalities lost millions of rands when the bank was declared insolvent in 2016. The forum today held a press briefing in Thohoyandou. They believe government did not do enough to rescue the bank before the declaration and are calling for it to be resuscitated.
We are also of the view that the VBS should be restored as a going concern to the position before the August 2017 National Treasury Circular. We humbly request that, number one, perpetrators to be brought to book to follow Mr. Philip Truter and Chikiwa Matodzi. Number two, all those who wrongly received money from VBS to pay it back. Number three, liquidators to continue collecting money from those who borrowed it and selling of the asset to be applied to recover the money. The money received be used to pay creditors, and what is left will be for the shareholders. Number five, the remaining amount will be for bank resuscitation.
The SIU, together with the Hawks and the Asset Forfeiture Unit of the NPA, has managed to seize about 29 assets linked to 22 senior officials, service providers and entities involved in an alleged corruption network within the Mpumalanga Department of Public Works. The operation took place in 3 other provinces, including Gauteng, Northwest and the Western Cape. Orders were served at 34 locations with assets ranging from 29 properties, 31 vehicles and a boat trailer.
We are on an operation, it's a joint operation between ourselves as SIU, the Hawks and the Asset Forfeiture Unit, wherein we've gotten an order as a result of the investigation that we did on the PPEs in 2020-2021 in the Department of Public Works. Therefore, this is now consequence time. We have now been granted an order to get about 29 properties, 31 cars and a boat, together with all the monies that are in the people's bank accounts and the bail monies that they have paid, because some of those people have been arrested, they are out on bail. Therefore, that is what the operation is all about. We are at the first place, but we are hitting 34 locations across the country. While there is one in the Western Cape, there is others in Rustenburg in the Northwest, others in Gauteng, Hartbeespoort Dam also, and then we have got more than 20 of them here in Mpumalanga, where we are going. Therefore, our teams are going there at the same time. We can only do it that way because we wanted to hit all of these houses at the same time. We are saving them so that from here onwards, they are not in a position to can use these properties or sell them or any other thing. Therefore, that is why we are here today.